In late February, Ghana became the first country to receive COVID-19 vaccines through the World Health Organization's COVAX program. And it initially drew global praise for its response to the pandemic, so much so that in December, President Nana Akufo-Addo was re-elected to a second term, partly because of how he handled the crisis. But the prolonged pandemic has hit Ghana's economy hard. The World Bank says the country's labor market has suffered significantly, leading to job losses, lower income and higher poverty rates. The global demand for oil and cocoa has also declined, resulting in Ghana's first quarterly contraction in nearly 40 years. And there's also a reluctance to invest in Ghana, which is known for its long-running battle with corruption. President Nana Akufo-Addo has made fixing the economy his mandate. He also wants the country to become much more self-sufficient and self-reliant, no longer reliant on foreign aid to prop it up. Yet Ghana is counting on the global initiative COVAX to get its economy back on track. Time now for The Exchange, where we look at Ghana's response to the coronavirus pandemic. I sat down earlier with President Akufo-Addo and began by asking him about his country's delays in vaccinations.
The COVID has been a challenge to all the countries of the world, and Ghana is no exception. So we've vaccinated nearly 1 million people. Our target is to vaccinate 20 million people by the end of the year. And the 20 million means effectively vaccinating the entire adult population of the country. We are a country of some 30 million people. And if we are able to vaccinate some 20 million people by the end of the year, it would have meant that we would have vaccinated the adult population. The delays in getting the vaccines, of course, have been a little troublesome.
In 2017, a few months into your presidency, you stunned the world at a press conference with President Emmanuel Macron, basically saying that Africa should try to end its dependency on the West. Fast forward to today, when Africa is dealing with a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, hundreds of thousands of people dead, millions more pushed into poverty. Do you still believe that?
100%, and I think that the catastrophe that has engulfed the world, the pandemic, has, if anything at all, reinforced the validity of what we are saying, that our self-reliance in all aspects of our national life is absolutely critical for our ability to survive the crises and the challenges of the future. So on the contrary, I think that the need for us to look to ourselves, to find ways of resolving our problems, has been heightened, has been intensified by what has happened in this last year with this vaccine. We cannot depend on charity. We cannot depend on the generosity of foreigners and foreign taxpayers for our sustenance. Those things that we can do ourselves, we have to.
Right, and President Addo, one of your most important mandates, aside from fixing the economy, is, of course, tackling corruption. Are you proud of the way your government has dealt with corruption, and what steps specifically have you made in trying to root it out?
The word proud pride is not the word I would use. I mean, am I satisfied that we've been effective? And I would say that yes, a lot has been done, and it's reflected in Ghana's growing position on rankings on corruption in the world. We've gone up several notches since I came into office because we're dealing with these matters at a basic level. For instance, the institutions that are there, the anti-corruption institutions of our country, when I came into office, were very poorly resourced. You can talk all you like about corruption and inveigle and make all the wonderful state, but if the instruments at your disposal for dealing with it are weak and blunt, you will get no results.
President Addo, some people are upset that the Auditor General was forced out of a job, and one of his important mandates was rooting out corruption.
There are laws in our country, and the Auditor General, like me, we should be some of the first to recognize the laws in our country. There's a time for retiring, which is prescribed by statute. They're not my-making. If you're 60 years old, you're supposed no longer to be able to work in the public service. The Auditor General came to 60 years old and had to retire. So the expression, and I say so with great respect to you, Mike, that of forcing out, well, he was not forced out of government. He left office by the operation of law.
I want to talk about Twitter, because Twitter is now basing its Africa headquarters in Ghana, as opposed to Nigeria. That is obviously a big win for your government. How are you making sure that you attract other companies to Accra as well? And most importantly, how are you ensuring that local businesses in Ghana are able to also open up offices abroad successfully and expand their business overseas?
What it is that what we're trying to do here in Ghana is to create a level playing field for businesses, whether foreign or domestic, so that people can feel free and can feel confident about investing in our economy. Because, first of all, we are trying to manage the economy in such a way that there is stability in the economy and in the way in which businessmen and individuals can make decisions. We're creating in Ghana an atmosphere, an ecosystem that allows, before Twitter came, Google last year, I believe it was 2019, established its first artificial intelligence center in Africa, in Ghana. This is some 18 months even before Twitter came. And we are doing all of, they're recognizing that the Ghanaian state is stable.
I want to talk about illegal gold mining. This is where foreigners come to Ghana, they take over land illegally, they mine for gold, it leads to violence and, of course, deforestation as well. What steps are you making to tackle that?
Well, we're determined to come to grips with it. In fact, this week, a major operation has been authorized by me, by the armed forces, to clear our rivers of all the delinquent machinery that is devastating and polluting our waters. They're called shanfines. They are machines that are imported from China and have entered the gold mining sector of our economy with really devastating effects for our water bodies and also, of course, for our environment. So we're having to take some very strong measures to try to come to grips with it.
All right, Mr. President, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.